It's just started hammering it down. I don't know how long I'm going to get. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I wanted to go sober before we moved to Australia, why I wanted to get a few months behind me sober. Because this was a big part of my decision of going sober, the move to Australia. You see, the weekends were getting heavier and heavier. I was having more and more brain fog. I was feeling worse and worse on Mondays. And, you know, was I a fully fledged alcoholic? I don't know. But I know one thing, it had too much power over me. And I didn't feel very strong. And I need to feel strong. Because what we're doing is a big thing. We're moving to the other side of the world. And because the house isn't selling, I've had plenty of thinking time. And I suppose the more thinking time you have, the more time you have to talk yourself out of something. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I think the fact that I'm dealing with these issues sober is a good thing for me. The rain's getting heavier. You know, I'm on Selston Country Park. All the time I've lived in Selston, I've never stepped foot on this park. I think sometimes you don't see what's around you. You search far out for different things. But anyway, back to it. It's been tough. The first 6 weeks were hard. It's got easier. Boredom is something I didn't think would be an issue. But it is, because drink eats time. And through this boredom, I'm sat thinking about the house, when it's going to sell, what I'm going to do. And just a few drinks would probably take that away. I'm going to have to stop and hide underneath this tree. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick at it. I'm going to stay strong. Our plan was to sell up, get all the equity out of the house, and go travelling around Southeast Asia. So I was going to travel Southeast Asia between 6 and 8 months. We've been to Thailand 3 times. We love it. I've never done it sober. Looking forward to doing it sober. And then we was going to move to Australia. And with what money we had left, was going to put a month's rent down and start a new life. And we need a new life. We want a new life. You know, we've both hit the same point in which we feel Britain doesn't serve us anymore. We don't like the feeling here. We don't like the culture. And by culture, I mean the have-gots, the materialism, the keeping up with the Joneses. We just want a different sort of life. And you know what? We've realised that we're not actually on our own. A lot of people feel the same way. I think people are much more spiritually switched on these days, and they realise that the nice car, even the nice holidays, the nice things, it's just short-term dopamine, it's just short-term happiness. And what we really want, the rain's slowed down, now I can get out of here. What we really want, I look a bit weird just chilling in the bushes with a camera. We want to live outdoors, we want to spend all our time outdoors, because when you're outdoors, just like I'm outside now in this country park, I feel better, I feel happier. And Australia is very much outdoor living. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. We've never been to Australia. We've met plenty of Australians on our travels, and I guess we're taking them at their word. They cook outside, they live outside, they talk outside. And another thing that I really like is they're up first thing in the morning, okay? They catch the sunrises rather. So it's starting to pick up heavy again. I'm gonna be resilient, I'm gonna get through it. So yeah, that was the plan. And all was going swimmingly. So we started off by getting my qualification, which wasn't easy. We went through an agency called the Down Under Centre, and it's been quite expensive and stressful. I had to pass an English test, which you would have seen on another video. That dominated my mind for the best part of 4 months. And eventually we got to the point where we got to the last bit. I've got to hide in the trees again. We got to the final stage in which you pay for your visas. So they were expensive. This was the last final bit, and now we're just waiting on the phone call and obviously to sell the house. So we're about 12 to 13 grand in. We've done the medicals, we've done the police report, so we're one phone call away. One day, my phone is going to ring, I'm going to pick it up, it's getting heavy, and it's going to be an agent saying, you have got your visas. We are waiting. You are ready to go. Now, the only problem is, if the house hasn't sold, we're going to be stuck here. And that's my biggest fear. And that's what I can see happening. I'm going to have to pause this and come back. It's getting heavy. Yeah, I'm heading back to the car to finish this one off. Guys, There's a tiniest bit of blue sky you can see behind me. Can you see that bit of blue sky? And I keep looking at it and I keep thinking, yep, this rain's done, man. And then all of a sudden it disappears and it starts pissing it down again. So yeah, that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that we get the visas and the house hasn't sold and we're trapped here and you've got 1 year to activate. 1 year. If you don't activate in that year, all your money's gone. Everything you did, wasted. And that scares the shit out of me, if I'm being honest with you. I'm being sober. There's no hiding places. I've just got to deal with that head on because nobody's interested in a house. Nobody wants to buy it. You know, the property market is on its knees and it's just not shifting. I think naively, because everything went so quick, I just expected it to go. Hi guys, you all right? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yeah, just expected it to shift and it hasn't worked that way, you know, so this is it, you know, we've got to take it on the chin. What we want to do is a bold move. A lot of people think we've been mental. Quite a few people have said, you know, it takes a lot of balls. It's took a lot of balls to do what you've done. I don't think it has. I'm going to explain myself on that one. We're not happy here, you know, anybody watching that works on building sites or has a fella working on building sites, it's fucking miserable, man, and it's shit. And especially in the winter, I think the real ballsy move would have been staying here and sticking it out. That's balls, you know, carrying on with this grind is balls. Working a job that you don't really like, and my missus doesn't like her job, and just keep going and just keep looking forward to them holidays. You know, you get 2-3 holidays a year if you're lucky. And that's all that gets us through the year. We get through the year just from one holiday to the next, but the in-between bit's pretty shit. The kids get an absolute knackered version of us, which is at night, and then the weekends fly by because they go to the clubs, and it's like life's passing us by. We're not that happy here. Yes, we've had a great summer, and make no mistake about it, when it's been hot and it's been nice, there has been a couple of where we've looked at each other and gone, we are doing the right thing, aren't we? Because when the weather's nice, everything seems good. Everything seems bliss, but that weather will turn. The clocks are going to change. It's going to get dark. You know, it's coming back. But it wasn't just the weather. I mean, it's Australia. Yes, it has nicer weather, but this thing that we're doing isn't weather related. Okay, at least it's not for me. There's a bigger picture, and that's what I've just explained. So, ballsy? I don't think so. I really don't. Expensive? Yes. We're moving to an English-speaking country. I'm still going to be a joiner. My wife's still going to work. My kids are still going to go to school. My son's still going to kickbox. I'm still going to kickbox, you know. But we're hoping for more of a work-life balance, because Britain just feels like a rat race. It just feels like work, work, work to the grave. Now, we might be making the worst decision of all time. We might go to Australia and it's even more that way, but it's not what I've been told. So that's pretty much the backstory as to how this came about. I can't deny it though. Another big part of it is the beaches. I mean, we're looking at Queensland and we're looking at living quite close to a beach. Grew up in Nottingham, lived in Nottingham my whole life, and it's a central city and you're so far away from the sea. There's something about the sea and beaches, you know, the endless just staring out to the sea. Everybody knows that feeling. And I mean, the thought of living near a beach is just fucking unbelievable, really. It gives me goosebumps. And I think just that alone, just living near a beach, maybe spending the morning on the beach looking out at the sea and spending the evenings on the beach watching the sun go down, you know, that's going to make your mental health fly, you know. And not gone on about it too much on my channel, but I do suffer with the blues. I think everyone does, especially in the winter. You know, I do feel down sometimes, and I do think, you know, is this it? Is this as good as it gets? And that can sound like a lack of gratitude, but it isn't. It's just something that's, I think, in us all. And I think people, the more they're talking about mental health and stuff, realise that everybody has that. You know, it's a real thing. And being on a beach or near a beach and near the sea, you know, it's going to help that. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, concerns-wise, you know, I'm not naive enough to not have worries and concerns about this process. We're moving away from every single person that we know to a country where we don't know anybody, you know. If that doesn't give you a few concerns, then there's obviously something wrong with you. But the thing is, I believe personally that we'll make it out there because we're outgoing, we're talkers, and we'll make the effort. You know, we'll join clubs. We know we're starting from scratch, but I'm looking forward to meeting Aussies and seeing what they're all about. I'm excited. I can't believe I've never been to this country park. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. Honestly, even though it's been raining, it's beautiful. Selston Country Park. I've really missed a trick here. Goes round in a loop, so I'm going to spin back. Yeah, meeting people is going to be important, and I'm going to make the effort every single opportunity that I get. I think at work I'll meet people, and you know, my kids will meet people. I'd say my biggest concern, the thing that I'm most nervous about, if I'm being honest, and this is just a dad's insecurity, this is just a father's insecurity, it's not so much my son, because he's like me, and I know he'll be all right. You know, you could chuck him in a skip and he'd come out in like an Armani suit. It's my little girl. She wears hearing aids. She's not deaf, but she has like hearing loss. And recently, a couple of times, she said a few things. I think as she's getting older, she's getting a little bit more conscious about him, and her confidence has built loads over this last 2 years. You know, we've got her into a place where she's sassy now, man. She's got some serious confidence, and sometimes I'm seriously scared of her. But we're taking her away from her friends. We're taking her away from, she's got this really good friendship group. We're taking her away from her network, and we're taking her to the other side of the world. And we're telling her to start again. And I have a bit of guilt about that. You know, I've not talked about it an awful lot, but that does make me, that gives me a butterflies in my stomach, because she's got to a place that I didn't know she'd get to. And the way that she is, the way that she conducts herself, she's amazing. You know, she's the most amazing thing in my world. I live for her. Literally, I breathe for her. And she did, before she moved schools and had this big upturn, she suffered. You know, she struggled, and she didn't get on with people at the other school. It didn't quite go right. So will it go right this time round in Australia? People are different. Is it going to be difficult? Probably. Is she resilient enough to get over that? Probably. But yeah, it does. I can't deny it. My biggest thing that I feel like that about is my little girl. But listen, you do something like this, there's going to be things like that. You just got to see how it plays out. And I'm sure it will all be okay. But even when we bring it up, even sometimes when we talk about it, she gets emotional. Whereas my son is like, yeah, surfing, boom. Like he doesn't almost take it in enough for it to be a thing. He's like, yeah, I love beaches. I love barbecues. What's happening? It's like, Leo, we're leaving everybody. We're going to the other side of the world. Yeah. That will do for me. That will do for me. Whereas she is not like that at all. It's deep. Like what? It's just deep. But I think getting this dog, you know, we've talked about, we've never had a dog, but going over there, getting a companion, dogs are friends, you know, straight away. I think that could help. I really do. I think the dog thing's a good idea. So, right guys, I've spun a yarn for long enough. Thanks for listening if you're still with me. Keep in touch. It's happening. It's just really, really slow.